What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of San Diego Prep Insider. We are breaking new ground here. This is the first time that we have had a girls flag football team in studio. It's the Hilltop Lancers. They don't know what is funny yet about them, but Coach so far is right that they like to laugh. They like to have a good time. So something tells me that we're going to have a good time for the next 20 minutes talking about a lot of things. But for those of you that are tuning into this being like, what? Flag football? Yes, flag football is a brand new high school varsity sport. And from what I'm gathering, the rollout has not necessarily been the smoothest. And we'll talk to Coach about this because, I mean, I know that I have no life and I live very much like I know high school sports, but I knew this was coming back in like December of last year that this was going to be a varsity sport. And Coach found out about what, mid-August? That this was going to be a varsity sport, something like that. Yeah, mid-August is kind. So, okay, let's start going left to right here. Everyone, please introduce yourselves, names, grade, and positions. I also always appreciate a team that shows up in coordination and or jerseys. It makes you guys look great. So let's start name, grade, and position. Please introduce yourselves.
My name is Jasmine, and I'm a sophomore, and I'm a receiver.
My name is Alex Yorba. I'm a receiver, and I'm a senior.
I'm Nevaeh Matos. I'm quarterback, and I am a junior.
I'm Olivia Grant. I'm a junior, and I play running back, safety, and defensive back.
I'm Mia Pacheco, and I'm running back, and I'm a senior.
Mia's got a nice little setup here where apparently she is going to hold that mic to herself all show, and everyone else is going to...
we got to share.
Yeah. And Coach, for you, I always say... what grade would you be in at that point, or how many years have you been head coach? But I don't even think you get a full year yet as head coach. You've had, 60 days?
For football, I've had 29 days. So my name is John Salsa. I'm the head coach here at Hilltop for the girls flag football. And, yes, I would say I'm a freshman when it comes to that.
How have the first 29 days, how has high school varsity flag football gone for you guys so far as an experience? For you, Coach, I'm sure this is a little bit different than the players, but an open question to everybody. How's this experience been for everyone?
Want me to start?
Yeah, please, Coach.
We'll bounce up.
I will tell you, I have coached for this is my 28th year coaching high school sports and college, and this is my first girls team since my very first year coaching. So it's been a long time since I've been with girls teams, and I will tell you it has been absolutely amazing. Every single day I am finding myself trying not to just lose it laughing so hard because they are funny, they joke, they come by, and I think one of the funniest things we do, a girl comes by and goes, misses a pass and goes, "Coach, I suck." And I look at them and I go, "But I'm fat." And then they just turn around and they do this.
Hey.
They start laughing, they run back and start all over again.
Wait.
Yes.
Who received the first one of those lines? Like, do we have the receiver with us that broke ground on that? Because I feel like the two of you need to, whoever that player-coach combo is, needs to go to other schools and teach people about the right way to interact. Instead of yelling at your players, you two can be like motivational speakers of like, here's how you handle it. Hey, coach, I suck. That's okay. I'm fat too. No worries. Also, can I get that instead of the be kind or just be nice or be nice, do
Yes.
whatever it was that Hilltop, it's okay, I'm fat. Can that be a new shirt that the athletic department rocks?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Our motto.
So for you guys, though, what has the experience been? I'm assuming none of you have played varsity flag football before because it's only been a thing for 20 days. But, like,
I don't think
what caused any of you to even want to do this? Like, did you just were like, hey, I want to get out of PE? Like, is this, what was the mindset here?
Honestly, I feel like it's been like there's days where it's very slow, and then there's days where it's super competitive kind of, and it's very,
But what made you want to pick football in the first place? Why did you... I mean, it's not something like you're like, oh, my mom played football at Hilltop. A lot of the ways that other like guys, well, you laugh, but like a lot of time on the guy side, it's like you expect to play football in high school because
I can speak for myself, but last year we had like a powder puff game, juniors versus seniors, and I think that's kind of what brought like a bunch of girls into this because of how fun it was last year. So I mean,
So you're saying there's
Yeah.
pent up powder puff rage from a
yes.
lot of girls across San Diego at various high
juniors
schools.
lost, so now the seniors won.
And also too,
Go in.
we were like the juniors were like ready to go against them, you know. So now we're like,
it's just giving us a like bigger opportunity not
Yeah,
only to
yeah,
play
yeah.
against like other grades,
Oh, she's doing okay, coach. It's all good.
yeah,
like just our grades, but like against a bunch of other schools that are just as good.
yeah. And I feel like also too, like without that, just like when I first heard of it, I was like, oh my god, okay, like that's cool. I'm able to like as an athlete share like, or not share, but like, you know, maybe like try other skills that will maybe help me towards like my main sport, or you know, just put that in my, you know, toolbox, you know, keep these skills, you know, no matter what happens, I'm able to, as an athlete, further those skills, you know. And it's like, I feel like a lot of my soccer teammates and softball teammates, we all play.
Because every one of you guys is at least now a 2-sport, if not a 3-sport athlete.
3-sport.
3-sport athletes
Yes.
across the board.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys were just like fall. We're a little bored. Like we need something to
Well,
throw in there because
honestly,
life
yes.
is not
We
chaotic.
did- I'm being
Well,
so
we did
honest,
volleyball.
yes.
Volleyball. It's just, it's
If
kind
you're
of
not 6'2", volleyball is a little difficult.
And then
I'm willing to admit that as a 5'10"
sorry.
white guy that can't jump, volleyball is not the easiest sport to participate in.
yeah, no.
All our sports are like during spring and winter, so when you say we're bored,
Because you guys just
bored, but we
it's
just
what
want to
field
be
hockey is
active.
the one thing that kind of field hockey and cross country are the one that
yeah.
would maybe kind of.
And then boys football. So
Well-
we have girls football.
Oh yeah, huh?
Well, no, I was saying that there might be some other girls playing field hockey or cross country, but there's not really a ton of girls sports that are like super popular. The way
No,
that in
well-
other seasons,
well, one of- yeah.
soccer and lacrosse and
Yeah.
all those.
Well,
are
one
kinda
of
like,
one of our quarterbacks plays. Doesn't she do cross country? Elise. Yeah,
So
yeah.
is she a is she a 4-sport athlete?
She does. She did soccer. Yeah. Well,
A lot of us do multiple sports.
But no, there's a good. All of us majority do at least 1 to 2
yeah.
sports.
So football just fits in nicely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Football is just like
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So you guys, I forget grades. What are mostly juniors and seniors here?
Juniors, seniors.
Sophomore.
So you guys are coming. You're coming back next year. Like this is going to be something that you want to keep doing. Like this is going to become
For sure.
part of.
No, yeah,
the,
for
the-
sure. For sure.
All right. So what has we can get into wins, losses, and all that, but I don't pretend like after 29 days you guys have a solid like cultural institution of like, oh, we know where we stand as a team. But just in terms of like, you got a couple of practices and you've gotten play a couple games. What have the game experiences been like for you guys? And I'm not trying to get into wins, losses, but we did beat East Lake. That's always fun beating East Lake. But no, like what was the first couple games experience? What was the first touchdown for you guys? Like what have a lot of the firsts been like for you guys as a team?
I think that we all have our ups and downs. We all go through our roller
Every
coasters.
team does.
I think that our first touchdowns, I think it like really hyped us up. And like, okay, like we're capable of doing this. But again, we go through our roller coasters during a game. I mean, we put in the work during practice. Like I can say that we're fully capable in getting those like W's and winning. But
I mean, are you guys even at a point right now where I don't want to say are you like not focusing on wins, losses, but I mean, do you guys even feel like you have figured out who you are as a team yet a month in?
Honestly, no. I feel like I was going to add on to her because, like, honestly, yeah, like, the first in the games, like, the first touch, whoever scores first, you know, has that domination. I've been noticing that, you know, when we were playing against Cedro, I forgot what, they scored on us first, no?
yeah,
Yeah, they scored on us first.
Second half.
It was 0-0. We kept them. It was a really good game, you know. We really thought we have the capability, you know, to beat them. And I feel like that's what just motivated us to keep going. And that's why I feel like as soon as they scored, it was kind of just like our mindsets were just like, okay, like, why are we playing now? Or like, you know, like, okay, like what? Because even too against Eastlake, even though we weren't the ones who were losing, look at the score. Like, you know, as soon as we were like up a good 14-0, they checked out. You know, and I feel like that is like since it's such a new sport, the confidence level like really does affect it because like
So you're saying you can see body language.
Yes,
when
yes,
it's
for
everywhere
sure.
on both sides.
From both ends, like, you know, and I feel like that's how it was with us yesterday. As soon as it was like, what was it? 28 probably. Or
We can bleep out scores. We don't need scores. Hey, well, no, okay, but no, you bring up a real thing, and I'll say this. I saw this last night as to when we were filming this relatively, but I was watching Madison get curb stomped by Helix in football, and it's a real thing there. Mm-hmm. When the number 2 team is beating the number 4 team, Madison was walking off that field very dejected, down 5 touchdowns. So you guys are not alone in that. When the gap is 2 touchdowns, the body language and all that. Coach, for you, seeing this experience where some of these girls have never been down 2 touchdowns, or it's new for everybody, it almost feels like maybe the hardest part for you isn't, what's our third down play, or how do we return a kick or something like that, but just keeping everybody invested and keeping everybody moving forward and keeping everybody like, hey, there's going to be some bumps in the road, but this is a multi-year kind of process. So
It is. And I appreciate that. I will tell you, to add on to what they're saying and to answer that, it has been an eye-opener for me as a coach, because we have incredible athletes across the board. We have top-tier athletes in soccer, in softball, in lacrosse, and then they come out for football, and I expect that same intensity that they bring to their sport, that same confidence that they bring to their sport. And I see it at times. And then if we go down by a touchdown, I see that start to crumble. And there was an interaction I had with one of the players the other day that completely changed my way of thinking on this. And I was like, girls, I'm not understanding how you're mentally not staying in this game when I see you play your other sport and nothing gets in your way. Your focus is laser and nothing's getting in your way. And they're like, Coach, I've been playing that sport since I was 5 years old. I've been playing this for 30 days. She goes, we're still learning the sport. That's
softball, if you're down 2 runs in the second inning, you're like, all right, great, whatever. Like, we'll end up coming back.
So for them, it's not their athletic confidence that's wavering. It's their knowledge of the game and what they should do is wavering. And that's new. That's something I was like, okay, that's something that I'm going to jot down, and that's going to be one of our big focuses in our shop talks is, okay, let's bring that confidence that you have in your regular sport, your premier sport, let's bring it over here, and let's adjust that into this. No matter if we're winning or losing, let's have that confidence in you and your ability as an athlete.
You haven't just reached the point where you're like, hey, if we're down a couple of touchdowns, we're going to pack Mia full of sugar and let her just hurt somebody?
That's almost there.
Hey, I think that we've almost gone there.
We've almost reached the emergency point.
Give me sugar, and I'm good. I do think, because this is a first year of ever having girls flag football, that's what's making it very competitive, because we're trying to be the best. We're trying to put ourselves out there as much as we can to make sure that we're getting these touchdowns, getting these yards in and everything. And it's giving it good competition, but it is. Are you guys glad it's are you guys enjoy? Like, this is something that you are enjoying, right? Like, Coach is not holding you here at gunpoint to play this sport. Like, you guys are win or lose so far. We're definitely enjoying it, but it is. I mean, I speak for myself, but it can get a little stressful at sometimes because, again, it's if you're the used first to being, time we've if ever you're used played to this being competitive and hanging in there with other sports, it can be hard losing by 4 or 5 touchdowns. Right out the gate for a couple of games. Yeah, no, I will tell you that. We started our first 2 scrimmages. We were on fire. We had more touchdowns in the scrimmages. We were like, okay, things are clicking. And then we get to that first game, and the speed of the game, the speed of the rush with no block changed everything. And it kind of like, whoa, wait a minute. And our first game was against a team we played in a scrimmage and put up more touchdowns then. We're like, okay, this is going to be good. One thing I will say, our defense is on fire. Our defense, we had 7 interceptions in one game. I'm like, this is amazing. Our defense is doing great. Our offense is where we're kind of really working on the clicking, because we have to run routes. And sometimes, Coach, there's somebody in my route. I'm like, then adjust. But where do I go? I'm like, okay, that's going to take experience. Well, that's the same thing for all things football. Defense always clicks first, and offense always struggles to find the minute little windows of timing that they need. And defense is always like, offense needs to do something because we out here working our asses off. And offense is like, yo, this is a much more finite, exact science than you guys have to deal with. So shut the hell up. I feel like even for boys, they've played for 4 years together. Some of the seniors have played 4 years together, and they still can't click in their offense. So, like, coming from someone who plays on offense, and you too, and Alex, all of us who play defense, it's so hard to click with not just the quarterback, but with everyone on the field, because we like focus so much on ourselves that we're not looking at everyone else that's playing.
It's so true.
On our
And
side.
I will say, for a quarterback, with that 7-yard rush and then you being back 5, that's maybe a second and a click that you have to decide. I got 6 receivers. Who am I going to?
You have to know where
Who's
you're
open?
going, basically, and then if that one is covered, you have to find somebody
to have an
very,
outlet.
like with Tom Brady-esque speed.
Yes.
And yeah, and like also to add on to like with the rush and everything, obviously with our luck, you know, Lancer luck, we don't really have the best refs sometimes, you know, so that rush can also be 2 yards because, you know, the refs aren't paying attention. I want to say
That's
that
not Lancer luck. That's just the way. That's just the. That's just the.
That's
no,
true.
we call it
No,
our
that's
Lancer
well, no,
luck.
that's a reflection of the current status of
Of it being the first season,
no
yes.
of reffing of the, you're because you guys are dipping from the same pool
As the boys football,
boys,
yeah.
and boys are already to the point where we're playing. I don't know, 15 games a week on Thursdays and Saturdays instead of Fridays now because of less and
The game,
and
the
it-
refs. Yeah.
Yes. So I trust me, I've heard it. My wife is a Hilltop alum. I've heard the Lancer luck and all that. But it's also just there aren't enough refs to go around. But
And
continue, please.
I will add to that because I want to make sure we stay on good terms with the officials.
Yes, for sure.
Look, STCFOA or the County Football Association. I'll quote Mike Gundy. I'm a man. Come after me. No, look, I want all the smoke with them. The refs are trash.
And it's funny. I will tell you, even in yesterday's game, we had 3 officials. A couple of them's first time officiating girls flag football. The rules are different in a way, and they were saying, okay, they were communicating, and that's what I love. They are communicating. Coach, I missed that one. I apologize. Or that there was a flag and should have been a flag, and they went out and talked and coached the girl up a little bit, and we're like, okay, that's awesome.
So, Coach, we're asking them to bring varsity high school football level intensity on a game day. Are you bringing equal energy in terms of truly demeaning and destroying the refs when you disagree with them? Are you like
No. I would say
this is an answer from him. I've seen a couple of people this season that I was physically worried for their health, that they were screaming so much at the refs. Are you bringing that kind of energy? And if not, why are you letting your players down on that front?
I will say I'm a reformed Bobby Knight. And
have you broken a clipboard yet this year? And when can we get you to do that?
Can we see that?
Exactly.
I want to see that.
I'm getting to that point.
I also want to say,
that was
too,
the old coach song. I'm more on the powder puff side.
That was Coach Assaults.
I also want to say, too, our coaches really do, like, keep us sane. Like, since it's our first year, we have, like, we really have a good bond with our coaches, and it's like we trust them. You know, we have coaches who have played before. We have coach odds coming from different sports, and it's like, obviously they're coaches that can coach players, so it's like we come open-minded, and it's like once we see that they're losing their cool or whatever, we're like, okay, like, unless somebody's like getting rampaged or like trucked over, then we're like, come on, coach, like, or like, we don't have to tell him, but he's already, the whole sideline is like, what's like, I feel like we also have to just play it cool, because then again, it's like, look at the score. If it's 0-0, we're not going to want to get on the ref's bad side in the middle of the game and then lose our confidence, our momentum, so that's why I feel like our coaches really do a good job of
you're too nice to be a football player.
I feel like they pick and choose, though.
Actually, of all of our players,
she's the dirtiest.
She's our soccer player. So we put our soccer players on defense.
Well, so you should be probably drawing. Oh, I was gonna say, if you're on offense, you'd be drawing pass interference, flopping all the time. Every third play, you'd be like, "Oh, sir, red card."
Maybe it's just because of the experiences with soccer refs, but it's like I just have a fear of refs where it's just like, okay, like I'm not gonna if it's really like if it's really not important where somebody's like laying on the floor, like then it's like, get back up, please. Or like like, come on, let's do this again.
She's the one that we have to say, Olivia, take a breath. Olivia, it's not contact football, but she will push it to the limit, and you need that. You need those players. They're going to push that rule to the limit.
Yeah,
because if other teams are doing
that's
it,
why she drew blood.
You say, hey, if the ref's going to call it, then we know it. If they're not,
keep playing.
Gotta play.
We gotta keep playing.
So we rely on Olivia on defense to be our limit.
I feel like you guys keeping your calm though really keep like you said, it keeps us sane.
Because
I think if you were to like break a freaking clipboard or something, then obviously we would all crack too. But I think because you guys know how to talk to us. I suppose it can be a fine line of
coaches firing up versus losing their cool and everything like that.
They know how to talk to us. They do. Which is a shocker because you've coached boys for 28 years.
He's a girl dad. He knows how to talk to girls.
So it really does help that he.
For you guys this season, all results aside, do you think that how this season is going helps contribute to next year? Like, do you think you guys will be able to add more girls? Do you think you will have to go out and keep begging girls? Do you think you'll maybe have, like, are we talking about maybe a JV team event? Like, just what? Like, do you think we already have a JV team?
Yeah,
Numbers are good.
We do.
We have a full
numbers.
JV and varsity.
Apologies for my
you're
ignorance.
good.
But so to go on to my question though, is next year going to be easier to get girls than this year? Like, is this going all in the right direction, or is this year sort of it was fun, but kind of a failed experiment?
I feel like there would be more girls because I feel like everyone was like scared at first. Like, I don't want to play this sport. Like, I'm scared. But I feel like this year it's gonna be like, I mean, next year will be so much better because girls actually come out and like. Because
you're a sophomore, and so you're saying that girls that are in your class or a little bit on that younger side will feel like, okay, like. Nobody broke a bone. Nobody broke an arm. Like it's not the end of the world. It could actually be kind of fun.
Yeah, because at first I was like nervous. Like I don't know if I was debating on it, but once I tried out, it was like really fun to play.
Had you played any football, like just like touch football with your family? Had you played organized flag football at any point? Like what level of football experience interaction did you have in your life?
I only play like my older brother, and we just play around, throw on the football and catch. That would be just it.
Had any? There's not really like youth organized. I mean, I'm sure if you look somewhere you can find it, but none of you really like played football before this, right? No. So it was just we think it's fun and like let's go. Yeah.
I was gonna say too, probably we will get more numbers just because of the like outcome that this season will have. I feel like we're actually gonna like do really good just because of like looking at our league schedule. Like, you know, we have really like good confidence, and you know, with the film that we've been watching, just everything that we can work on, you know, we have to pick ourselves down, you know, pick at ourselves and just make sure that we're getting to those like points in order for us to succeed, you know, because we already know what we have to do. I just feel like that's where it's like we come in practice.
All right, so I'm looking down the schedule. We still got. You guys got a lot. You guys get what? Is this a 15-game season?
15 game.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. That's kick-ass. You got Montgomery. Oh, it's kick-ass because it's a lot of games, and guys can't do 15 games. Yeah. Guys, if they make it to 15 games, they are the Walking Dead.
Yes.
Montgomery, Southwest, Mar Vista, Scripps, Sweetwater, Castle, Olympian, Chula is the rest of the schedule, with a couple of those teams being played twice. I know that you guys, as a school, have like the Kiwanis Bowl with Chula and everything, and like that's the school historical rival. But is that your guys' rival? Yes. Do you even have a rival yet? Is there one game on the schedule that you're kind of like, we want that one a little extra something?
I kind of feel like Otay is our rival right now.
Otay's the rival already?
Olympian is.
Just because we beat them one time in our scrimmage, or like it was we did beat them, right?
But I think just because
of
how they play.
Say it with confidence.
Scrimmage.
We beat them shitless in the scrimmage.
No, we did. I'm sorry, but we did.
Okay, it was scrimmage, so I guess that we don't win scrimmage. Whatever. We had a close game in the scrimmage, and then we played them our first game in like season game, non-league game, and it was just like a whooping. Yeah, it was like another Caesar game, you know. We knew that what we had to do, and we didn't didn't
execute.
Yeah, exactly, you know. But also too, we had them the first time, so that's why it was like that game really just like sat.
So what you're saying is that you saw everything you needed to in that scrimmage. That if you saw them in the playoffs, you're like, okay, we know how to beat them, so let's tank this game.
Yes.
To let them have a false sense of confidence for the playoffs, that they'll take us easy, and in the long
that's
term,
exactly what we wanted to do.
And that's what you did
exactly
yesterday, correct? That's what we did yesterday.
Oh,
correct?
yeah.
With Benita.
Oh yeah.
Every L is just a designed end. Okay, but so no necessarily like you guys just intrinsically feel like you hate Chula because
of the school down the street.
But so Chula is still the rival, sort of. But Otay for now.
We haven't played them yet.
Okay.
Heck,
so
yes, Chula will be the rival.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But right now, you guys don't feel like we are excited for Tuesday, October 17th, because that is our Chula. Like you don't have it circled.
I don't think we've really looked into that yet.
Okay, so that's what that
we're looking at.
Well, no, that's more what I was getting at. Is that like football players will come in here and 6 months out be like, week 7, we want X, Y, or Z because of this. You guys just don't
It's
have
our
that
first
yet.
year, so we don't know what's coming.
Killer.
We
Yeah,
really
fantastic.
don't. But I will say, at the end of the day, Chula is the school down the street, and Chula will always be our rival forever, for every sport. For every sport. It's not just football. It's not just soccer. It's for every sport that's within high
Well,
school.
I'll say this, you guys, and don't take this as like a anything other than, I mean, it sounds kind of weird, but you guys have been a better interview than the Chula football team, if for no other reason than the Chula football team came here directly after practice and stank to high heaven.
of course they did.
And so I appreciate you guys not coming here directly after practice. You have that up on Chula so far this season.
I think we still smell good after practice.
I do have to remind you, just because I would like to one day be able to be welcomed back into my homecoming and back to my home
A
school.
Chula alum?
That I am a Chula alum.
No, it happens.
I do have Chula blood in me. I have the Spartan blue.
But you are a Lancer at heart. You are a Lancer at heart.
Lancer through and
You
through,
are a
but I
Lancer at
still
heart.
have a passion for Chula, which is like when I play Chula or when we play Chula and coach against them, absolutely want to beat their butt. And then after that, I want Chula to win the rest of their
that's
games.
the cruel irony that a lot of people suffer on the coaching side of this is that not a lot of us are blessed with the ability to go back and coach at our alma mater because life works out that you find a great home at another school. So there's a lot of people that I talk to who are head coaches that go, yeah, and I'm looking forward to that when I am an alumni of that, so I don't necessarily want to beat them super bad because I am conflicted. But yeah, no, I'm with you. You maybe you're speaking to a lot of people out there.
There are a lot of Spartans out there in the sports world, and the leader of them all right now, Joe Hines at CIF.
A fearless leader, yes.
Fearless
All hail
Spartan,
Joe Hines.
Spartan alum. So, yes.
Can I add something really quick?
It's your show, please.
I think our confidence when it comes to Chula and just like our whole like, I guess our league is that we're coming. Like, Hilltop's coming for banner. Yeah. Like we all have that confidence in ourselves. We're coming for banner.
How do you say that with a smile? Why don't you just like get aggro?
But that's like we're coming for it. Like there's no
There's confidence when it comes to Chula.
You said they were giggly, coach. So it's just their default name. We're coming.
The one that's getting me. The one that's getting me right now in today's interview is nonstop talking. She will sit there and tell you anything that's on her mind at any second, and I'm like, worse than any guy that I've ever coached is the quietest one over here, Alex. She's like sitting here going,
She's probably.
She's just afraid. She's afraid to put out poster board material and
telling
get
you,
aggregated
Alex,
on social.
Alex,
for other
I'm
teams.
waiting for you to go off
I've
on
been
this
waiting for
interview.
her to talk.
All right, Alex, what's up?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm
trying to answer questions.
What's been the best and worst part of football so far?
The best part, honestly, is the touchdowns. Like, just, like, or honestly getting yards. Like, having, like, finally a good catch after, like, so many missed catches or bad runs. Like, that feeling of, like, okay, like, that was 15 yards right there. Or, like, my first touchdown. Or, like, the 2 touchdowns.
Well, tell us about your first touchdown.
Oh, it was insane.
Walk me through.
I dabbed as my
walk
celebration.
me through the route. Walk me through. Walk me
We
through
have
from
video of
breaking-
that touchdown too.
From breaking the huddle to catching that touchdown. Holy crap, English. From breaking the huddle to catching that touchdown, walk us through everything.
I honestly don't remember which one was my first, but
The 45-yard,
the 45.
the 45-yard touchdown pass reception run dab into the end zone.
that was a long
Hit us with it. Yeah, tell us the story.
So I ran my route. I don't remember exactly what the route was, but
Right
it
side of the
worked.
field, down the line.
It worked, and it was a perfect pass. And I just remember, like, I'm like running, and I'm like, are they behind me? And I look back, and she's like on the ground, and I'm like, oh yeah. And then I'm like in the end zone, and then I dab, and then I'm like,
Did you hit the girl with a little shake and bake, or did she just trip?
I just no. She
I think
just,
she just
I was
ate
just,
it.
she ate
You
it.
you were so fast off the line that she just the girl defense just.
No, I
think that was somebody else running her route, and then
Yeah.
like she didn't know, like I don't
She
think
couldn't
that
read her.
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't do her coverage right.
So coach, you were calling some little situation here, a little cross setup, a little drag.
We had a little
route,
animal
okay.
style going on there.
yeah.
And
before we even knew.
yeah,
I
before we
remember,
had
like,
some plays
yeah,
calling.
that was
I will admit I was a little hungry when I was drawing up plays. So we have a double and then a double animal style. And
You need to be the coach with the board too now on the sideline, pointing at which one it is.
Exactly.
Just photos of hamburgers.
we have it going. But I will tell you right now, Alex, after literally the second scrimmage, already has her name out in every team in our conference. Is pretty much the premier receiver. I'm watching all the other teams. They got great receivers.
So now you're
Nobody.
receiving lockdown coverage.
She's
You've
receiving
got the
double
girl,
and triple
You've
coverage.
got double and triple
Most
teams.
definitely.
Like
Yeah.
at the Eastlake game, I had like 3 girls on me, and like I still made that touchdown. Like that, I wish that was on video because
Yeah.
Actually, should-
That was the one game we don't have on video, but we do have your first touchdown
Yeah,
on video.
yeah.
I will say, and our quarterbacks will back this up. The only problem we have right now with Alex not getting more touchdowns is getting the ball to her. She's open.
In that she's double covered, or that she's too fast and it's too deep.
Our passes are just not there yet. She's beating her coverage. Even double and triple, she's beating her
She's
coverage.
there. She's always there. She's always
and
there.
we're just
She's
not
always
getting
open.
the ball there. The balls are a little behind at times, a little over at times. So that's a practice thing. That's 30 days in, and we're going to get that practice down. But and I have all the confidence in the world. We're just going to practice more on that. But she's open. She's doing her job. She's open.
And yeah, like I said too, I feel like since it's like such a new sport, the chemistry also has a lot to do with it. With also like being a receiver, because I can tell like when I was playing yesterday, because we were short. I think we were just short. I had to go in for a couple plays on offense, but even too like I was like, okay, receiving balls from Nevaeh is way different than receiving balls from our other quarterback, you know. So it's also too like we have to be able to adjust to that. We have to be able to adjust to just even her, and that's why it's like it's hard for them to adjust to us now. Like, you know, it's just all around. We have to get the chemistry down. I feel like that's one thing for sure.
Well, no quarterback's the same.
Yeah, no, I always,
Yeah.
I jokingly, and people hate when I interject my back in my day, I always just jokingly tell the story though of the first time I tried to receive a pass on varsity. I was a late season call up my sophomore year as a running back, and I did like a little like run out in the flats thing, and I was used to our JV quarterback, kind of had a little bit of a noodle for an arm, so the ball came in at a very catchable speed. And the first time in game running that route out to the right, I got hit square in the chest with a freaking bullet, and I like it knocked me over. Ball went flying, almost got intercepted, and I'm like, oh. That's what a real pass is.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's a real deal when you're like.
I
when you're
love
like,
that story.
When you're like from one day you're catching Brian
very
Burmeister's wet
relatable.
noodle of an arm to the next day you're catching a dart from a kid that went on to play at Notre Dame, and you're like, oh.
How does that feel, girls? Does that sound relatable?
Just a little.
Yeah, just really.
We have Nevaeh is the starting catcher for the girls varsity softball team.
So Nevaeh got a bit of a
Yorba-
cannon.
No,
She
Nevaeh has a massive cannon. Yorba's the shortstop. Yeah, Yorba's the shortstop getting that ball down to second base. And I literally, the first few days, I'm like, I'm going to have girls with black eyes left and right because the ball's going right through their hands, hitting them in their head, hitting them in their chest. And I'm like, Nevaeh, they're 5 yards away. Can we lighten up on that? I don't know how to do that, coach. I have one speed. And I respect that tremendously. I have to look out for the other girls as well.
Yes.
Yorba's like, just give me the ball.
Yeah.
We're very grateful she has an arm. We really
Yeah,
are.
for
But
sure.
I'm 5 feet away from her, and she's hammering that thing at my face.
You're like, girl, I'm right here.
I'm right here, Nevaeh. Like,
I literally
please
want
calm
to get
down.
Nevaeh's catcher helmet and put it on Mia when she goes out for
Oh
patterns.
yeah, I'm down for some GoPro footage of Nevaeh just wrecking people.
It's brutal.
It's
that
scary.
speed.
It is the scariest thing to be probably this distance from her, and she's just
Cannon.
slanging
The
that
head
thing.
off is like.
Just the oh my gosh!
Oh,
she
how does
can't-
that work? Wait, how does a
Okay,
handoff
listen.
end up?
Coming from a
Because it's a
coming
shovel
from,
pass. It's like,
Oh, okay.
Coming
girls have
from a
lost their
running
breath.
back.
They've gotten their air knocked out of them from Nevaeh's shovel pass.
Coming from a running back, I'm running my route, okay, and she loads her entire arm up, and I'm like, Nevaeh, I'm right here. You just have to toss it. Hammers that thing, and then obviously I get a little scared, you know.
I don't know if I'm aging myself here, and I probably am. I don't know if you guys have seen this commercial before.
2012.
It might.
Just kidding.
So Cam Newton, big
Oh,
NFL
yes,
quarterback.
yes, yes.
Wait till the end. I feel like that's Nevaeh.
No, yeah.
She's just out there warming up the cannon.
No,
She's like, I'm going to become your mom's
too.
favorite
Yeah,
quarterback.
like that.
I'm going to get drafted #1 overall. Start for the Panthers. Just
That's
yeah.
really Nevaeh for you.
That was a T. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Nevaeh to a
That's
T. She's out there
literally
just
her.
talking ish to
Absolutely.
Cam
I
Newton,
think it's
being
just
like,
like a force of habit for me. Like,
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
you're a
need
catcher.
to do it, but
Yeah.
I'm like, when I throw stuff, I feel like damn, like I'm not gonna get it there.
And that's the confidence from softball.
Do you play quarterback like kind of in like a hunched over position and then pop up to throw the ball?
She does
Like
play
you're- like
pretty
you're a
low.
catcher.
She does, yeah.
She's pretty low.
You're playing a weird hybrid catcher / quarterback position.
Yorba knows she's going to get the good pass when she's in the squat position and jumps up. She goes, that ball's coming.
All right. So what we're going to see then is a lot of deep routes figured out by the end of the season, while you are just running over in the other side of the field on a sugar high, distracting the shit out of everybody. And you're just going to stand there as the silent assassin. Just being like, yeah, hey, that was a pick 6, whatever. Good
Bella
on you guys.
had some of our greatest touchdowns already just by slipping through everywhere.
Yeah.
I love it. She is the silent assassin.
silent
She was
assassin.
like, everyone's like, okay, we're looking for Yorba, and Bella just goes, see ya.
Alrighty, so we really appreciate you guys being in here. I like closing out with kind of a loaded question to seniors of, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind? And I think for a lot of people that means something because like it's 100 years of this school playing football and all that, and you guys have been doing this for 35 days. So maybe not like 25, 30, something in that range. Maybe it's not like what is the legacy, but like kind of at the same time, like what do you guys want your impact to be on this program, through legacy, anything like that? Open question to all the seniors.
I feel like the legacy that I want to leave is like, we were the first ever football team like for our school, and like having that, like having people know that, and then like younger like grades below us like being like so impressed by like what we can do, and like that girls can play football, because it is such a stereotypical thing that like
Only guys can
like
play
no one
football.
even shows up to our games sometimes. Like our audience is terrible, and then 20 minutes later the boys football plays, and
then there's all these
stands
fans.
what
Yes.
I want to leave is like in the next couple of years, maybe even next year, our stadium is going to be the same exact packed as the football, like boys football.
We do
And we're
play
leading up to that.
Yeah,
for sure.
we do play the same night. We do
Yeah.
play the same day as the boys
doubleheaders.
varsity.
So
Yeah.
you're like, get your asses there an hour early.
Exactly.
Yesterday, speaking, we played Bonita, and then Bonita boys varsity football played our team, and, it's
And it
just
was
like,
packed literally right
It
when
was
our
packed.
game was over.
Yeah.
And I just think that like
Even just our football team going, and I know that they had like a meeting or whatever, but then it's just like going for like one half, like 15.
Going for like one half, like 15 minutes, like that would for sure like make a difference with again, like with our confidence, like we just really need like that boost of
Not letting go.
confidence.
I was like, she's gonna own his own. Just her mic.
No, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you on
You know?
that. It should be a fair trade. You come to our games, we go to your games.
I feel like it kind of, as a senior, it kind of gives us girls like a power in a way, because again, like it's so stereotypical that only boys. There's some girls that play tackle football,
Yeah.
and now we have our own football team, and it can show girls younger than us that like you guys can do this.
And I think that you're absolutely right that there are some girls that play tackle football, but I would say that you guys don't. The girls that do play regular tackle football are not allowed to get the normal.
Oh no, they don't get
full
the name.
football
They don't get the
experience.
same
They're
playing
kicker,
time.
Yeah.
They get to play kick. They get to play
Yep.
kicker. One or two of them will
Special
play.
teams
Yep.
are on,
Will be like a
Yep.
kick returner.
You'll
or something
never.
like that.
I don't
But
think.
they're not going to be the middle
They're not-
linebacker.
I don't think I've
starting
ever
for Lauderdale.
seen
They're
a
not gonna
girl
be an
play
Starting running back.
football.
They're
There's not going to be a girl
Yeah.
playing left tackle for Carlsbad.
Yes.
And that's not a knock on you. It's just physically, it's a different game. It's a different experience.
I think it gives us like kind of like a lead role to show like not only the grades below us or like our school, but like other schools and like even our family members, like the little girls in our family,
Role model.
that like you really can do anything. And at the end of the day, it is football, and it's obviously not gonna it's not gonna be a little girl sport or dance or anything like that. You're gonna have to go out there. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to show that you can do this. Like
4 games, 4 girls already out.
There you go.
That's
That's how you know they're a football team. Is that no matter what, they are already leaking people. You got one thing to close on?
Yeah.
we get out of here?
I was gonna say that I think just because like again it's flag football, but I think what people think
call it football.
when the
It's
word
football.
when the word is football, they think, oh, like it's guys. Like the word football is just guys tackling, like just everything crazy. But when it comes to like, we need more hype. Like, just in general, I think we're getting overlooked. Like, oh, you're just females. Like you're playing female football. But like,
It's
I
not
think people are
female
thinking
football.
they're just whatever. But they need to come out and see like, oh crap, like flag football for girls is actually crazy. Because you see girls, like, we tackle. Like, we don't mean to, but we tackle.
I mean, we could do a whole other show on how football spends its whole off season saying that the 7-on-7 circuit is the greatest thing in the world, and it's the exact same thing that you guys are doing. So no, it's a double standard. I don't disagree on that. We don't have enough time to solve all of America's societal issues, though. So maybe that's a different podcast. You had one last thing before we get out of here? No. You were holding up at the mic.
No.
Okay, fair enough. On that note, folks, we will say go Lancers. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you
Go
for
check out a
having
bunch of their
us.
games, and we'll talk to you guys soon.